On behalf of the Lansing Police Department and the City of Lansing, our condolences go out to the families of the victims from yesterday's tragic shootings. And the events that unfolded yesterday certainly mirror the senseless acts of gun violence. While we're still working to understand the MO behind these crimes, this is what we do know. This was not a robbery attempt for guns or drugs.
We tried to resuscitate him, and then he was transported to the hospital, at which time he was pronounced dead. Our victim is Jordan Daniel Rogers, 27-year-old male from East Lansing.
I started this with the gun violence in mind. This idea of me going out to empower the street. He came over that night with my brother and one of his friends, and we had a discussion. It was like, do you want to be a part of this? And he was telling me the situation that happened with him and his neighbor. And he was like, yeah, I got into it with my neighbor and this, that. And I'm like, I heard how you was talking to him. I'm like, why would you talk to him like that? And he was like, man, because, this is how I feel. This is, people don't like the way I do things. And then the next morning, I just remember getting the call, and they were like, he's been shot 12 times, his next door neighbor. At that moment, I was on a high, and at that moment, everything stopped. It was like the very thing that I was fighting, the gun violence, it was the very thing, it came right to where I was. Both of their lives ended that day. He went to prison, and he died. I am a youth mentor. I like to tell people that I'm an activist because I'm advocating and I'm actively involved, engaging for the youth. So that's my mission, to connect them with purpose and just being a light to their lives. The work is what you have to do to be your greatest you. All the principles that go in between sacrifice, faith, what you do to get to the place that you say you want to be in life. I've done different events with Boys and Girls Club, the talent shows, the Spirit Week. I host lunch and learns. I host just motivation meetups, roundtable discussions, but the main thing is using the basketball. I was adopted at 7. I lived with a foster family. I was abused. I was sexually assaulted as a child. I was an athlete. I went to college. I was a first-generation college kid. I got married at 18. It's just, there's so many things. I got divorced at 20. I used to be a basketball player. Actually, I'm still a coach. It's just like basketball. Like, things gonna happen in the game that you don't like, but hey, we gotta win the game. That's all we gotta think about. So I'm thinking, yeah, I have my down moments. I may miss a few shots. I ain't gonna never stop shooting. I can't. Really, the biggest problem at homes is not having identity. And they're trying their best to live life in that default mode, not really knowing abuse, violence, and alcoholism. The list is endless, and that's what I found out with core of gun violence is, this is the problem. At home, it's not the guns. It's the mentality behind the people that are carrying them, but what are they going through? And these kids have been accustomed and used to friends and family getting killed. I was like, how are y'all accepting this? Children, like, they're accepting that. So we've normalized gun violence, but we haven't normalized mentorship. And I feel like it needs to reverse as you see what's going on across the country. Inspiration is the true solution, but mentorship is the vehicle. It was like, once he passed, or once I could accept it, and I'm like, this is what I learned that I can help people and maybe give them something more tangible. So in a sense, it was like him dying launched my mission, launched the purity in my message. So his story now, like, I can give him something to be honored for. So that's the ultimate sacrifice. I just see a campus. I see an empowerment center. I see a chain of empowerment centers. I like to use the analogy, like, I want to be like the Planet Fitness of empowerment. Most importantly, put them in an environment where they can have everything they need. Those are the things I know will keep them engaged and keep them motivated about life. And when life's challenges come, they'll be in this environment with people like us, people that care about them. There doesn't have to be jails built for people with guns. If people are inspired to change, they will. And I think the most important thing is for us to believe that. Like, there's no other solution to the wars and the violence in this country. The true inspiration is going to come through each of us, and we have to inspire another person. So my ultimate message, each of us is all of us. If we can remember that, a lot of things will change. Each of us is all of us.